Hey all you cool cats and kittens, welcome back to Remote Learning with Miss Corwin. We will be continuing our narrative writing and we are still in the editing phase. Honestly, sometimes the editing phase can take almost as long as the writing phase just because there's so many things that we can do to our writing to make it as good as possible. So what are we going to be looking at today? Today we are going to be looking at performing surgery, and I don't mean literally. We are not going to be performing any sort of surgery on anybody, but we will be performing surgery on our writing. So, what does it mean to perform surgery? Well, sometimes it's very easy for authors to get off track when they are writing and to write about more than one topic in a particular piece of writing. So it would be time consuming to try and rewrite the entire thing, and we don't want to throw away all that good writing. So one of our revision tricks, one of our editing tricks, is to perform surgery on the writing. So how do we perform surgery? And I know you're going to hate this, but what we need to do is we need to read our stories, the whole story, line by line, sentence by sentence, and look for sentences that do not help our story and they don't add anything. So there's kind of a saying in writing, and it's if it doesn't help your story, don't have it in there. So what we're looking out for are like those random sentences. If it's not important to the story, take it out. So if you are writing a story and you're saying, let's say your story is about a road trip, and you're like, wow, here I am on this road trip. We're having a lot of fun. I'm kind of hungry. But when I look outside, I see all these things, and wow, 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 wow. That hungry line, it doesn't help the story at all. It's kind of just randomly there. If that doesn't come back into your story later, if you don't talk about how you were hungry later so you stopped to get food later, it doesn't help now. So we don't want those kind of sentences in here. They just take up space. They just make your story a little bit messy, and it makes it harder for your readers to understand. So again, you're going to have to look line by line and look out for sentences that don't help and they don't add anything. A lot of times people might think that these are random. So what we're going to do is we are going to practice, and I'm actually going to scooch out of this and I'm going to show you on the actual slide. So this is an example of a very, very, very short story. And this example I'm going to tell you right now is kind of obvious. You can pretty obviously see it, but let's read it anyway. So this story is called My First Sleepover. I had butterflies dancing around in my stomach on the night of my first sleepover. Okay, that's what the story is going to be about. Your story is going to be about a sleepover. Okay. I have been to lots of birthday parties, but I have never been to one where I spent the night before. Okay, perfect. We're still talking about a sleepover here. I had been waiting to go on this for days. Okay, cool. You're waiting to go to the sleepover for days. That still has to do with this. I had my bags packed and I was ready to go. Yeah, ready to go to the sleepover. Perfect. I kissed my dog Muffin and waved goodbye to my mom, and I was gone. That's still fine. We're still talking about the sleepover here. Muffin is the sweetest dog ever. Huh? She's the color of butterscotch, and her hair is smooth and silky to the touch. Okay, so now we're talking about the dog. We were talking about sleepover before, but now we're talking about the dog. Okay. Every day when I get home from school, she's waiting for me at the front door. What? Okay, we're still talking about the dog. We're supposed to be talking about the first sleepover. Okay, we're back here. The first thing we did at the party was eat pizza. Okay, now we're back talking to the party. I was starving, so I ate 4 pieces of hot gooey cheese pizza. It was delicious. So in the story, you can see we got kind of lost in the middle. So we were talking about going to a sleepover, and we've never been to a sleepover. We're getting ready for the sleepover. We're leaving for the sleepover. And then we start talking about the dog. And while the dog does sound lovely and sweet, it has nothing to do with the story of a sleepover. And we never mention Muffin at the end. We never say, oh, and then Muffin somehow got to the sleepover. No, this is just random information about your dog. That doesn't help our story. It tells us about your dog, but the story isn't about your dog. So you don't need to include facts like that. So what we're going to do today in our own writing is we're going to do what's called a strike through. A strike through is like when you cross off words, but on the computer. So let me show you how to do that. First, I want to highlight what I don't need. So I'm going to start here where it says, actually it says, I kissed my dog Muffin, or I kissed my dog Muffin and waved goodbye to my mom and I was gone. That's still fine. She's leaving for the sleepover. Muffin is the sweetest dog ever. That's when things start to get off track. That's where we start talking more about a dog and less about a sleepover. So I'm going to highlight this sentence. I'm going to come up here to Format. When I click on Format, I'm going to hit Text. And when I hit Text, I come over here and I go to Strikethrough. It says you can also do Alt-Shift-5, but if you don't remember that, it's right here, Strikethrough. And when I do that, it puts a line straight through the sentence. That's what you're going to be doing today too. You're going to be striking through all of the sentences that don't help your story. So, she's the color of butterscotch and her hair is smooth and silky to touch. Okay, we're talking too much about the dog right now. We need to focus on the sleepover. So, I'm going to highlight it, Format, Text, Strikethrough. Boom. Because it has nothing to do with our story. Every day when I get home for school, she's waiting for me at the front door. Again, this is supposed to be a story about a sleepover. That's lovely facts about your dog, but has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So I'm going to highlight, Format, Text, Strikethrough. So then if I were to read the story without the sentence, would it still make sense? So let's see. I had butterflies dancing around in my stomach on the night of my first sleepover. I had been to lots of birthday parties, but I have never been to one where I spent the night before. I had been waiting on this for days. I had my bags packed and I was ready to go. I kissed my dog Muffin and waved goodbye to my mom and I was gone. Skip all this stuff. The first thing we did at the party was eat pizza. I was starving, so I ate 4 pieces of hot, gooey cheese pizza. It was delicious. So yeah, the story still makes total sense when I take out these sentences. That tells me that these sentences were never needed here in the first place. If I can take them out and I still get the same story, I didn't need those in the first place. So let's look at another example. This one's called Day at the Lake. The sun was shining brightly on my first day at the lake. Okay, perfect. So this story is obviously about a day at the lake. I was so excited to be there because I had waited a long time for this vacation. Okay, perfect. We're still talking about a vacation at the lake. I would sit in my classroom at school and daydream about all the fun I would have. Okay, yeah, this is that you would sit in your classroom, but all the fun you would have at the lake, I can still connect those puzzle pieces. I sat next to my best friend Molly. Okay, now we're talking more about school than we are about the lake. She is a great friend because she is funny. Okay, well now we're talking about Molly, we're not talking about the lake anymore. She is also great at keeping secret. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with the lake. I tell her all types of things. Again, nothing to do with your trip to the lake. My favorite thing to do at the lake is jump off the dock. Okay, so now we're back to the lake. Okay. I like to do cannonballs and splash everyone around me. Okay, perfect. Still, now we're talking about the lake. My sister likes to ride in the tube behind the boat, but I'm a little scared whenever I try it. Okay, so we're still talking about being at the lake. I'm sure I'll give it a shot, though. Okay. I can't have my little sister be braver than me. We both love to sit on the dock and look for fish and turtles. So, a lot of the story is about being at the lake, but we kind of got a little bit lost there. We kind of got a little bit random. I would say we started getting a little random where it starts talking about how she starts sitting next to her friend Molly. That has nothing to do with being at the lake. Molly doesn't even come to the lake. So I don't know why you're telling me that. So I'm going to highlight that, go to Format, Text, come over here to Strikethrough. I'm going to strike through that sentence. She is such a great friend because she is funny. Okay, so that has nothing to do with being at the lake, so I'm going to get rid of that. Highlight, Format, Text, Strikethrough. She's also good at keeping secrets. Again, that has nothing to do with being at the lake. Highlight, Format, Text, Strikethrough. I tell her all types of things. Okay, we're talking more about Molly right now than we are about being at the lake. Highlight, Format, text, strike through. My favorite thing to do at the lake is jump off the dock. Okay, so now I'm back to talking about the dock, or talking about the lake. So let me read this story without these extra sentences and see if it still makes sense. The sun was shining brightly on my first day at the lake. I was so excited to be there because I had waited a long time for this vacation. I would sit in my classroom at school and daydream about all the fun I would have. Skip, skip, skip. My favorite thing to do at the lake is jump off the dock. I like to do cannonballs and splash everyone around me. My sister likes to ride in a tube behind the boat, but I'm a little scared whenever I try it. I'm sure I'll give it a shot though. I can't have my little sister be braver than me. We both love to sit on the dock and look for fish. So yeah, this story still makes complete sense without these extra sentences. If it makes sense without the extra sentences, those extra sentences are not helping you. So get them out of here. And so that's what your job is going to be today. Your job is to go to your first draft of your writing narrative and read through it. Literally read through it line by line. And look for places you can, this is stretch your sentences. What I mean is look for places you can perform surgery. Find all the places you can perform surgery. So for some people, there might only be one. For some people, there might be like 15. I don't know. But you're looking for all the places because if it's not helping the story, it's making it a bad story. It's making it too full of extra information that does not help you. So find all the places you can perform surgery. Then I would like you to strike through all the places you took out the unneeded sentences. I'm looking for the strike throughs. And remember, to get to strike through, you're going to highlight, then you'll hit Format, Text, Strike through. And that is your job today. If you have any questions, of course, please just let me know, and I'm always here to help you. But that's all I got for you today, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.